I guarantee you that by the end of this video, you're going to understand how to trade London session, and you are never going to need to watch another London session video ever again. In this video, that's a really good strategy, and it clearly does work because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 examples. But realistically, there is a lot more that goes into trading rather than just looking at liquidity and taking a trade from it. If you're struggling to understand how to trade London session, do not worry, because I will explain everything you need to know in this video. I'm going to be explaining 4 examples on Euro USD which you could have taken in the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to be breaking down exactly how we were able to catch these trades in our Discord. Each of these trades were at least a 1 to 5R, and some of them went as far as getting a 1 to 7. So if you do want to understand how to take very big trades just like these, definitely stay to the end, because I'll be breaking down 4 trades that you could have taken, and I'll be explaining every single one in a lot of detail so that next time you're on the market, you can catch these trades just for yourself. But before I get onto the charts, guys, please be sure to drop a like, drop a comment if you enjoyed, and if you do want to see future videos from me, make sure that you also subscribe. And now that that's done, let's get straight onto the charts. Okay guys, so now the fun part of the video. I'm going to be explaining to you 1, 2, 3 and 4 trades that you could have caught during London session on Euro USD in the past 2 weeks. There have been really good opportunities in the market recently. Unfortunately, I was in New York last week and the week before that, so I didn't really catch any positions, but the Discord caught some really good positions, so fair play to them, and I'll be explaining exactly how they were able to catch these positions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by not explaining these positions. I'll do that a bit later on, but for those of you that don't actually understand what London session is, I need to explain that to you guys first. So London session, when does it start? London session starts at 8 AM. So let me write that here. London, 8 AM UK time, right? That is when it starts. And when it finishes, kind of varies depending on the trader. A lot of traders like to say that London session finishes at 11 AM. That could very well be the case, but some traders also like to say it finishes at 1 PM. The time you trade London session is all kind of dependent on you, and some people like to trade from 8 AM to 10 AM, let's say, and then come off the charts. But some people just as well would like to trade from 8 AM all the way up until 1 PM because they like to have that bigger window of trading time. But for me, what I like to do is I like to trade from about 8 AM to 11 AM. That's kind of a good time for me to trade. Any longer of me being on the charts and I start forcing a position or I start looking for something that doesn't really make any sense. So London session is that time. 8 AM is when it starts. Everyone will agree it starts at 8 AM, no matter who you speak to. So that's the first important thing to understand. London session starts at 8 AM. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain these positions that you could have caught here. And just for reference, these points of liquidity which I've drawn onto my chart, this is not necessarily how I trade. I don't just trade based off liquidity sweeps and then London session volume. You could do that, as I'll explain in this video. That's a really good strategy, and it clearly does work because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 examples. But realistically, there is a lot more that goes into trading rather than just looking at liquidity and taking a trade from it. You've got your change of characters on the lower time frame, which you need to understand. You've got supply and demand. There's so much stuff that you need to understand other than this. But if you guys want me to make a video on more advanced topics, then I can do that definitely in future videos. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started on the first example, which happened on the 14th of August on a Monday. So let's get into that. Alright, so now dropping down to the 15-minute chart, I'm going to explain how you could have caught this trade on Monday. What I'm going to do actually first is I'm going to put on my session indicator, which is going to make it a bit more clear for those of you who are a bit more beginner level to understand exactly when London session starts, because you can see that London session is within this box here. So if you are wanting to put on this indicator, it's called sessions indicator on TradingView, and it's just from 8 AM to 1 PM is when I put it. So if you want to do that, feel free to do that. But looking at this example here, we can see how price likes to go up in London session. We see manipulation, as it doesn't just come down straight away. You've got to keep that in mind. London session doesn't always react at 8 AM, which is why it's very important to understand more advanced concepts like confirmations to know when you're looking to take that position. if you were to just take a trade at 8 AM, which happened here, you would have been stopped out because there was manipulation that kept on pushing upwards before the move down happened. So very important to understand exactly when you want to take a position. But just for simplicity of this video, you can see very easily that we have liquidity below here. We've got lots and lots of buyers that bought here. They've got their stop losses below this level, and what does price want to do? It comes down and it breaks past this level because price wants to take out any buyers that were here. And when you understand liquidity, you can use this in line with London session to look for your targets when you're in a position, and it works every single day. There's liquidity always in the market. Sometimes it works better than others, and of course this strategy doesn't always work 100% of the time, but it does work a lot, and you can clearly see it works when I go through these examples. So first example here, what do we see? We see Asian session, which is this box, by the way. Asia session high is swept, and then we see some sort of reaction into like a 15-minute supply or something. You know, it's not the best example, this one. Other examples that will go for a better, but regardless of that, you can see here London session starts, we see a movement up, we see manipulation, and at 9:45, 9:30 you see the reversal, and it pushes down, targets this liquidity, and then it keeps on going all the way down there. So really good position. If you were to catch something like this, it would look like something like that. You know, let's say we've got a 10 pip stop loss, which is what I like to do. It's similar, something like that. First TP would have been here at this liquidity, which gives you a 1 to 2 and a bit more. And then if you were to target lower, you could have got yourself, you know, like a 1 to 7, 1 to 6. So all depends on your preference and your trade plan. But for me, if I was going to take this position, I would have closed out just below this liquidity here, because that's how I like to trade based off my strategy. Let's move on to the next position now. Here we can see that price came into this supply during London session. It just tapped into it here, and then what do we see? We see our reversal at what time? 9:30, exactly the same time that we saw the reversal here on Monday the 14th. So you can see how well this works. There are times in the market where price will reverse at this exact time every single day. I don't really understand in detail why. You know, it's probably down to the bigger institutions. Maybe that's when the orders are filled at 9:30. That's when they wanted to come into the market, and you can see here when the big orders came in, it pushed price all the way down to target this liquidity resting here. So really good example of how to take another position in London session. And yet again, what you would have done is you would have waited for sorry, I just got a message, but yeah, you would have waited for your confirmation on the lower time frames or whatever you need to see before you enter a position, and then you would have entered the trade something like this, stop loss above this high, and target your liquidity below here. This is a really strong position, not just because we have liquidity from here, but because we have lots of structural liquidity that was resting below here as well. So super good position, and you could have definitely targeted lower than here as well, because not only did we have this liquidity, but we also had liquidity from here, which we made on Monday. So really nice trade that you could have caught. If you took your first TP here, you got yourself a 1 to 3. If you held it to the next point of liquidity, you've got yourself a 1 to 5.8. So really good position, and it just works super well. Let's just imagine that this week we traded here, we took this trade here, so we're up 6R, and then let's say we took a loss here, because you know losses happen, you're not going to win every trade. Anyone that says that to you is lying. So let's say you've taken a loss here, you've lost 1%, so now we're up 5R for the week, and then on Wednesday, imagine we catch this amazing trade here, you're up another 5R, so you're up 10R for the week. Super good positions, and that would have been a really strong week. But yeah, let's move on to the next week. So next week, here's a really good position, which I know our Discord community caught. We swept liquidity from here, from this high, and we also swept some structural liquidity from this high here, and also Asian high was swept. So super good position, this one. You've got so much liquidity swept, so many reasons for price to keep going down, and target this liquidity, right? There's so much confluence for this trade, it was such a strong position. And I know the Discord caught this one. So let me just have a check at our Discord and I'll be able to show you if they caught this trade. No, don't switch, mate. Right, yeah, you can see here, Discord, this trade was caught by Dan, who's a really advanced trader in our group, really skilled, and you know, he's a big part of Woke Effect. So here you can see here he caught a nice 5.6R on 22nd of August, which, as you can see here, 22nd of August, he caught the same trade that I just explained. Really good position, targeted the Asian low and made himself some good money. So super nice trade. I'm sure guys caught similar. Yep, you can see here, very similar was caught on GBP USD. So, you know, there's loads of stuff that you could have caught on this day. If you understand a bit more about price action, you would know that what happens on Euro USD tends to happen on GBP USD as well. So I'm sure a very similar thing happened on GU on this day, and you could have caught a position there as well. So really good trade from everyone in the Discord that caught that, and yeah, good stuff. We've been seeing lots of good trades recently in the Discord, and a lot of people are becoming funded as well. So if you are looking to sign up to the Discord and learn how to trade from very advanced traders, send me a message on Instagram at Forex, and I will be more than happy to jump on a quick call with you and explain how you can sign up. What I'm going through here, yes, sure, it's advanced, but there is so much more that goes into trading rather than just targeting liquidity and taking a trade during a session open. You know, there's loads more that goes into it. And if you are wanting to learn the ins and out of trading, you know, the very advanced concepts, definitely send me a message on Instagram, because I'll be more than happy to explain how you can sign up. But anyway, moving on to the final position here. Actually, let me just first of all put our position that we would have caught. Something like this. This is something that Dan would have caught, because it's a quality position really, this one. Let's say you target here just like Dan did. I think he got a 5R, so that's his position right there. Really nice trade. This is the final position, which I'll go through. You can see here, yet again, price comes into London session, and 8 AM we see the move down to target this liquidity here. This was definitely because of news. So sometimes what you'll see is that news will actually do the move for you, and sometimes you won't be able to catch the position because it happens so fast, and that is what happened on this day. I remember I was looking for something, a trade similar like this, but there was news at 8:30, I believe. Yeah, 8:30. So I didn't end up taking this trade, just because if you're trading during news, it gets quite volatile. So it's probably best to just stay off the markets. But anyway, that's the position which you could have caught. We see price come into, I don't really know where it reacts off on this day, but you know, price, it just happened. Sometimes it doesn't even react off anything. You don't always, it's not always going to be picture perfect like this. We're not always going to see a real nice sweep of liquidity and then it moves down. Sometimes it can just go up a little bit and then London session opens, and the volume from London session is so strong it just pushes it down straight away. And that's just one of those days you can't really catch a trade. Actually, looking at the charts now, very similar things happened today. I was wanting to take some sort of shorts from, actually I wasn't looking at EU today, but I was looking at GU. But if I was looking at EU today, I would have wanted to see, you know, some sort of retracement into this supply here, and then look to continue the downtrend. But it didn't end up happening, and I didn't take any trades today. So that is just how it is. Some days you're not going to get a trade, but that's literally how trading is. You don't want to force a trade if you don't see it. So today I just decided I'll make a YouTube video instead of forcing a position. But yeah guys, that's pretty much the video done. I've explained London session and hope I've made it clear to you when London session starts at 8 AM, when it finishes at 1 PM, how to understand that price is going to target these liquidity levels, because this is where the orders have been left from previous days. So price naturally wants to go and take out anyone that was selling or buying at these liquidity points. So I hope that makes sense to you. Liquidity is a very detailed and advanced topic, so there's a lot more I can explain about liquidity. I haven't really gone into lots of detail about it today, but if you want to see that on a future video, definitely let me know, and you know, I can definitely make a video on liquidity as well as lots of other topics as well. I'm really trying to make my YouTube more trading focused now, because I think that's what you guys want to see. You guys want to see how to trade. You want to see how to understand SMC, ICT concepts. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of these type of videos. And if you do like these type of videos, let me know in the comments so I can do more, and maybe even start doing 2 videos a week, because these videos are a bit more easy for me to film. And yeah, so that's basically the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please drop a like, please subscribe. And like I said at the beginning of the video, if you are looking to sign up to the Discord, message me on Instagram. My Instagram will be somewhere in the video. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.